Okay, we have the parts ready to go. We've got a tool to score with. We've got a rubber rib, needle, tool, and we've got a bowl with a little water, a sponge, and a piece of leather. And we have the form over our pottery wheel. Now the first step in making this bowl will be to wedge up some clay, which we have ready here on our wedging table. And I measured the size of the form, and it was about 12 inches across. So if it's a 1/4 inch thick, then I would conclude that 12 by 1/4, if we cut that in half and stack it on top, would be 6 by 12 by half. If we cut that in half and tap it on top, we'd have 6 by 6, 1 inch thick. Now clay weighs about 1 ounce per cubic inch. 1 ounce per cubic inch. Therefore, I need to have about 36 ounces of clay. So if I take my piece of clay and I go over to my scale and check and see how much it weighs, if we stick it on the scale, and we have 3 pounds and 3 ounces. So 3 pounds is going to be 48 ounces. I need 36, so I'm over. So I'm good. I can use this piece of clay. And we'll put the scale back. Now we'll take our clay and we'll head into the other room where we have our slab roller. Now I've got the slab roller set up with a round canvas. I like the round canvas because then I can turn my part if I'm trying to make it round. And I also have a piece of plastic on top so I don't end up with a pattern from the canvas on the clay. And if I put this on here, and get it started into a circle, and then cover it over with another piece of canvas.
Yes, taking shape. Now I'd like to push the clay more towards this side right here. So I'll turn in that direction. Bring it back down. Half turn. Get a hold of the bottom canvas. Pull it up. Move the wheel in the direction you want to move. And
check it again. And I want to push it a little more this direction. So again, I move it to the final spot right there. And there we have our clay. So get now with the credit card, I'm going to bend it a little bit. And I'm going to take the pattern at the top canvas, left and clay out. And we have a bubble. Right there. Air bubble. Big one. There. Now, I can pick up my clay on the plastic and we'll head back in the other room. carefully. Lay this down, get at the edge of the form, and then lay it onto the pattern. And to peel this off, I pull 90 degrees. And I lost a little piece of clay. We'll put that back in the hole. And work that in. Steal a little bit from the edge out here. There. Oh, I have that fitting nice. I use my hands to form it to the form. With the tool running, turn this on. I'm going to hold my hand right over the edge and then slowly lower it until I hit the back. Once I hit the back, I can cut the piece in two and I can peel it off. Now, I want to reuse this, so I'm just going to dip it in water and lay it on the plastic. There. Now, if I take my stamp sponge, if I start in the middle, bring this over right off to the edge, it will have smoothed everything out. So now if I take the rubber rib, go from the center out and bring it up. I've got a surface that's fit for the bowl. And you see these little spots? These are air bubbles. I was using recycled clay. And I didn't wedge it long enough to get all the air out. So I have to poke all these holes. Once I poke them, I can make them collapse. Now, just to be sure, I've got everything. I'm going to dampen the surface again. After I dampen the surface again, I'm going to dampen my rib, and I'm going to go with my rib again. I'm going to carefully go over the edge. Back up. Now let's see if we got all the air bubbles. Now, I take my scoring tool. I score near the edge where I want to put my foot. Dip this in water, and I touch that area that I scored to make it into slip. So I can slip and score by doing this. Now, I'm going to emphasize the inside line by touching it again. Now I go to the outside edge, and I'm going to make sure I've got a good surface on the outside edge. So while this is turning, I'm going to shape this outside edge. There. Now, while I hold my hand very carefully, I'm going to cut. I cut slowly down until I hit it. There I am. through my ribbon that I created, and it's going to be less than a circle. So I'm going to take the piece off here. Now I'm going to lay it along that inside edge that I made. It will show up. The closer I come to following that line, the better off I am making my foot. Now, I let these overlap, and I take my thin piece of scoring tool, take out the pieces, the top and the bottom, dip them in water, and stick them with the rest on the plastic. Now, I can push these together. And I've got this secured. I've pushed it down as I've gone. Now, I take my damp sponge. I wet this. After I've wet it, I press on it with my finger. And I shape it. I hold against it tightly. I shape it so it's got a nice form. Shape the inside. And there I have the foot created. And if I want to take off the slip, I'll try the clay. Take the slip off the outside edges, off on the inside. There, taking off extra slip, and I have my hole formed. Take off this piece that was left. Now, while it is running, I'm going to drive this tool from the outside up against the form. So while it's turning, I rub here first, I push down, and I come in until I touch the edge of the form, then I go back out. I dip this in water, stick it with the rest, and I thought I want to clean up the outer edge. I must make sure that I don't put clay over the edge of the form. So I'm going to push from the bottom. I'm going to push from the bottom. Make sure that the clay on the form doesn't overlap. I'm going to touch the edge with my sponge, clean up this edge so it's a nice form on the edge. I'm going to take the handle of this and just make sure there's no clay against the form. So while I hold it there, I take any clay off that would be hooked over the edge. Thank you for watching. Next thing I'll do is put my name on the bottom, and we're done.